Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 9th episode of the Vertical Play podcast. I am joined today, of course, by my two co-hosts, Dontani Lamb and Killemsoftly, and we have a special guest today, Sin, who is a prominent member in the Iron Mountain Discord, and also on our ranked team. So today, we are going to be talking about a lot of things because there has been a lot of Siege news that we have missed here on the podcast. Today, we'll be talking about Killem is going to be bringing us with the new ops. Don is going to be talking about the maps that they decided to rework for Year 5. Sin is going to be talking about just overall excitement and different topics on that. And then we'll cover you guys' questions from there. And without further ado, Killem, go ahead and get us started.
All right. So the new operators obviously are Jana and Oryx. And Jana's the new attacker. Oryx is the new defender. I'm sure if you're tuning in to a Siege podcast, you already kind of have an idea of what they're about. But I'll just quickly go over like what they do. Jana is a kind of information operator on attack where she can create a clone similar to Alibi, but unlike Alibi's clones, she can actually move her clone around like a normal player would. So she can like vault things, vault windows, run around the map, lean, crouch, all that stuff. And so she's very convincing when you see her, and she's basically the kind of meta that's getting established with her is that she's kind of like a trading tool. You use her drone to like run into a room and like immediately try to have somebody behind her drone to trade her out. So that's kind of like the meta that's developing behind her, which I think is pretty interesting because like if you watch some of the pro teams that play like that, like TSM or NIP, they play like really aggressive and play on trades and stuff like that. That'd be pretty interesting to see how she gets played in pro league. Um, and then as far as Oryx goes, he's the defender and he's he's the Kool Aid man, as everybody calls him. He's able to he's able to yeah, he's able to bust through walls with his ability. It's got infinite charges, but it stacks up to 3, and then it's got like a little timer that builds up on it, similar to other people's abilities, and has 3 charges total, so he can use them to like dash really fast. He's like super fast when he uses it, and it's like a short little burst where you can run. And then if you have it doesn't matter like how many you have stacked. If you bust through a wall, it automatically resets the count. So you have to wait on it to charge up again. So you can't just like go smashing through like 3 walls in a row. And then his kind of passive ability is that he can climb up hatches. So basically, he's like the ultimate roaming operator now. Like I've played him a lot today, and I honestly think that he's gonna rival pretty much any roaming operator that's currently in the game. I mean, I know like Cav and Vigil are specifically made for roaming. I know there's like other operators that people use to roam, like Ella and Jaeger, but as far as like specific uh, play styles that the operator is built around, like Cav and Vigil don't even stand a chance up against this dude. Like he's the roaming operator. Like he's gonna be a handful in a skilled person's hands. But yeah, that's those operators. I'll turn it over to whoever's next. Unless y'all have any thoughts about it.
So I just want to know, like, who's your favorite of the two?
Who's my favorite?
Mm-hmm.
I honestly I like Oryx the most, just because like map knowledge is like a big thing for me. Um, so being able to use him to kind of like outplay somebody as far as like map knowledge, and he like opens up a whole new way to play the map too when it comes to map knowledge, because essentially what you do with him is just open up every hatch, and then like on the new Oregon map, like it's pretty spread out as far as where the hatches are at, and you can go from the third floor down to the basement within a matter of seconds, and then vice versa, like go back up within a matter of seconds. So you can really like bamboozle some people, and I caught some pretty good flanks today just using that ability to be able to like go up and down hatches. Um, Yana's fun. She's just like I said, she's definitely a situational operator in the sense that it's not even the fact that you have to have a coordinated team because I mean that's the way it is with a lot of ops. But I honestly think she's going to be more situational, even in like pro league hands. Like I think she'll be a situational op, kind of like Goyo is. Like he's strong in the right hands, but it's still a situational kind of thing. But yeah, I like Works the most.
Okay. Anybody else on the ops? The new ops?
I would have to actually say Jana is my favorite, just
Yeah.
because with the background I'm used to competing, in ranked a lot, or competing in comp and scrims, leagues and stuff like that in my past. That she's the new op that is essentially both a frag and a support at the same time, because you can use
Right.
her, her clone to trade, but she also has the frags for fragging,
Mm.
but also smoke grenades as well to support the plant. So it's kind of a mix of both worlds, which is something we have never, I think, seen before. Um, I just think it, yeah. But Oryx is definitely cool. The ability to go through hatches is something that UB has never shown us before, and I think that's because when we've got Amaru vaulting, through windows that
Yeah.
quickly and stuff like that, I think they kind of caught the idea. Oh, let's have a guy who can jump through hatches.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well,
but
people have been
definitely.
asking for that for a while too. I think to be
Hmm.
able to like jump up through hatches or like have like a ladder
I
operator
saw
that
the I
like
saw
put
someone
up
begging for a
ladders.
ladder. Yeah.
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 So that one's been around for a
Imagine
while.
just
So they finally got it in. Yeah.
Put down a met.
Just the
So I think
fireman. That's what we call him, fireman.
just throws up and he can potato sack any operator that's down and throw him over his shoulder and run.
Yeah.
I think
la
an interesting idea to kind of get with Jana and Oryx is they both are, I think, from what I can think of, the first operators where they're built on kind of complex metas. Because if you're first starting the game, almost every other operator can kind of make sense. Castle even, you can barricade a wall or something like that. But these operators both, like Yana's a trading operator, right? She's made to do trades, which is kind of a complex idea in the meta of Siege, and then rotates less so, but still, like, if you're first starting the game, you're not necessarily going to understand the value of having certain walls open to be able to run through.
Or
so
even being able to like rotate, or not rotate, but like be able to like catch a flank on somebody by just like flying through a wall or something.
Right. I think it's interesting that they're starting to build off of the metas that players have created in Siege with the new operators. I think this is the first time that they're starting to do that, and I wonder what it's going to look like in the future.
Yeah, I haven't had enough time on the test server yet, but I don't see myself ever using the defender, like Kool-Aid Man. I don't roam really. I primarily just anchor. So I just, and the only time I played against him I actually haven't had him effective against me yet. So I just don't think I've played enough on it. His ability is really noisy. Like the one time I saw someone try, they were also going up a hatch that we were like, it was on bank. We were planting an open area. He was down in lockers. And like I very clearly heard his ass like, ugh, like coming up the hatch. And I was like, oh, there he comes. And it's,
He's
so I think
Kool-Aid
he's
Man.
going to take a lot of like map sense and game sense to know like when's the right time to flank.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
When I
attacker,
was
I
playing
like
it today. Oh, sorry.
No, you're
I
good.
was
I was
saying,
just saying I do like the attacker. She's cool.
yeah. Like when I was playing him today, I did have some like unsuccessful attempts because like I feel like with him where he's different from like Vigil or Cav is that he is kind of louder operator. So like what you were saying, you have to time him correctly. And I had a few times where I tried to push a little too early on a flank and it ended up costing me. Where if I had just waited a little bit longer, like it would have been a hell of a flank to pull off. So like what you're saying, it's gonna take a little more finessing as far as like game sense and map knowledge goes with him. You're not just gonna be able to run around because I can't remember who I was watching, but you could like hear him using his dash ability like 2 floors above you. Like he sounds even louder because like when you hear people running on a floor above you, like it's really loud, like the footsteps. Like he's like twice as loud when he does that dash ability. And somebody, I can't remember, I think it might have been Macy or Varsity that I was watching, and they were post plant, and this guy was like in a door, and they were like fighting, and then you heard him like run away, and the next thing you just hear him like boom, 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 like up above him. It's like, oh well, he's gonna be over here on this side now. And sure enough, he like comes out the door, and they got him. But yeah, I mean, it'll take a little more finessing and knowledge that you're quick, but you're also gonna the enemy is gonna be able to hear you a lot more than usual.
Yeah,
so you're not like Cav, so you can like go stealth mode around them out.
Vigil hides from drones. Cavi is the silent step, and then you got someone who's literally clomp, 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 clomp.
Blessing through walls,
So
The ultimate
I do
way
think
of-
that like when he gets into pro league, I imagine some people like Laxine will probably use him a lot and be very effective with him.
You're right.
So,
You're right.
bullet holes and strip.
Yeah, there'll probably be some pocket strats with him for sure.
but yeah, I'm excited for year 5. It's interesting how this is gonna be different this year because we're not getting any new maps this year. All the maps are all rework, which I think is actually I'm all on board with. I really like that a lot. I think the game needs to really clean up what they have instead of just throwing, because one of the most daunting things about this game for a new player is there's like 30 fucking maps that you have to learn all these maps. I think it was this week on Logic Bomb, Zeronic was saying like it takes like 200 hours to really learn a map.
Oh my.
Well, that's what he said. I mean, of course it's him, but he was just saying that like to get to know every angle, to know like all the different things. He was saying until you play like 200 hours, you're not going to know. So then imagine like how long it takes for all these maps. This year we got Oregon coming up in season 1. They're redoing House for season 2, Skyscraper, and then Chalet. And like season 3 and 4 had me super hyped because I hate those maps with a passion. And I'm sure everyone on this panel can agree with that probably, right?
I second
You
that.
know
Just
what?
like, when are they gonna take Chalet out to rework it? Because they like take the map out.
Oh
and then
God,
rework
I
it.
hope it's soon.
I'm like, just take it out at the beginning of the year. Just fucking get it out of here. But it's already, you can see in the test server, like it's in the map pool. So I don't know when they're taking it out.
What I'm hoping is they take it out when, well, shit, because didn't they say House is a casual rework? Like we won't actually see House in ranked.
That's what Jeremy said. Yeah.
Shit, so they may not take Chalet out until like season 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. When they put
please.
Sky Pooper back in, then they would take Chalet out.
That's my thing though, is
Skyscraper.
that like Pro League status for maps and stuff like that, they're reworking Oregon, which used to be in Pro League. Now, are they gonna rework something to put it back in, or are they gonna make the map pool bigger? What's your thoughts on that?
I'm guessing. I'm honestly thinking that they are going to be putting Oregon back in at the end of season 11. That's my guess. I just get that feeling from the way that. So I was watching Stokes on his stream the other day, and he was, somebody asked him, are they going to put Oregon in the Pro League map pool? And he said, no, they won't do it. But he added the caveat of they won't do it in the middle of a season. So I have I'm very suspicious that they might be changing the Pro League map pool. I bet that they've reworked Oregon in such a way to put it into the map pool.
Now, do they take one out, or do they add another one? Because you need an odd number of maps regardless.
Because it's pick and ban.
Pick and ban.
Yeah, they'll probably take one out.
What would they take out?
Which one?
Yeah. What would they take out?
Border, I feel like, is the most vanilla.
Yeah, Border probably. Even though I
But
like
people
watching
play it
Border.
so much though. Like
Yeah.
teams pick that map so often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
I would say Border.
teams
for
picked
that now.
Oregon too. Teams picked Oregon too, and they still put Cafe back. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So what
that's
do you all?
kinda...
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No, you're good.
Go.
Okay, sorry, my bad. What I was just gonna ask you all, what do you think of Oregon? Because I know you all have played more on Oregon than I have, because we just discovered the playlist was finally active on Thursday, and it was just secure area, so we got bored after like 20 minutes because we were like, "Fuck this."
Look, we finally got a bomb match. I think we have 2 of them all day.
Like
We
2 or
played like
3,
we played like 13 rounds and got 2 bomb matches.
So is it random?
It's hostage, secure, and bomb. It's
Yeah,
random.
It's just random. Yeah.
Ugh.
But we finally got bomb, and I was like, yes. But
Ugh.
no, I like the rework. Dude, honestly, like, I know everybody's like first impression of it, as far as like the community goes, is the initial knee jerk reaction that, oh, like it's defender sided or whatever. But I mean, that's just kind of like every map, because the defenders kind of have the ability to like figure the map out before attackers do,
I
But
think it's way
now,
too
like,
early
after
to tell.
people have played on it, it's a lot of these sites, man. They're like going to be pretty difficult to defend. Like I can't
Basement.
think of one that's going to be really easy. I feel like meeting's probably the easiest one to defend right now. But all of the sites, they kind of make you want to have like vertical play on defense. Like I know
Mhm.
meeting does, like you want somebody up in attic and like have that at least one wall like closed off so you can like comfortably play up there. I know in dining, like you want to have somebody upstairs in kids playing above kitchen, because kitchen's one of the bomb sites. And then basement, like basement's gonna be fucking hard to defend, dude. Like it's gonna be really hard.
So that's a big paradigm shift from what Oregon used to be, where like
Right.
basement was your go-to, and then what, kids?
Mhm.
And they got rid of
and
tower completely, right? Or is
Yeah.
tower still a
Mhm.
bomb
no,
site?
tower's gone.
Tower's gone.
It's kitchen and meeting hall now.
And kitchen shared amongst two sites, right? Like kind of like what they
Yes.
did on Cafe.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yep.
which is a good idea, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, and the
I
kitchen
really
site has more walls now. Like there's only there's two doors going in, but the door's on the opposite side from where it was like over by meeting. It's on the opposite side of the room.
I
But there's
think
still like a
walls is my
soft wall
big
right there.
concern. Is my big concern with the map. There are two sites that I can think of that have almost too many walls to reinforce. Basement and the kitchen. Kitchen dining has a lot.
Kids
think it
has a
requ-
lot too.
Yeah.
I just think you need to look at it from, I don't know, because from my perspective of getting on the map, and me and a couple of the ranked A guys jumped into a custom game as soon as TCS dropped to look at it, and we started stratting right away. Like we have a strat for kids, we have a strat for downstairs in the laundry, we have a strat for kitchen and dining, and we're working on
And that
kitchen
castle
meeting.
strat we're still refining.
Yes, that's the thing. Is the castle? I think is gonna be a huge impact come this next season, just
Mhm.
because it's one of the ops that can deny Yana's ability because she can't go through it unless one of her teammates explodes it, or
Mute's
she
gonna be
does it
big, too.
herself. Mute, gridlock, nomad, all the support operators are gonna be huge this season, in my opinion.
Huge buff.
Yeah.
Huge buff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's because the
the-
map's so like there's so many like sections, like there's rooms, so you like have to
Mhm.
go through like a door, and then there's like another door, and then there's another door. So like what you're saying, I mean, he's gonna be pretty big, coming up, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we can all say that it looks so good. Like
Mhm.
I love that it looks more like a compound. Like that was what they were going for before, but I don't think it necessarily got that across. But now it looks like a compound that somebody built. I think that's
Right.
super cool. I really like the look of it.
I feel like Big Tower is still kind of like a daunting presence on the map, though. That's one thing that I wish they would have changed up, since it's
They
not
kinda-
it's not a site now. So I don't know. I I wish they would have done something a little more with it, because it looks pretty much the same. Like it's got all the same windows. I think there's one window up top on the side that's like facing the building that's missing, but um yeah, I mean all the other windows are there. So like if you're trying to repel off kids, there's like now 3 windows looking at you if you're repelling on kids. So it's kind
Yeah,
of like
there's one
you really
below.
have to cover those.
Yeah, there's one below.
They
There's one
tend
in
to
the attic.
leave what makes the map unique in. I think I heard them say that when they were talking about Cafe. They didn't necessarily want to get rid of the feel of Cafe, but they still wanted to change things to make them more balanced. And I've kind of noticed that, with Canal, they still made it so there's an east and a west building, even though they added the second bridge and stuff like that. I think Big Tower was a really big contention point on the map, and I think they didn't want to mess with that. They just wanted to balance everything else out.
It's the nostalgia feel.
Yeah.
I just hate having this looming thing on the map where it's like, freaking Doc or somebody's just any moment is gonna snipe me across the map.
A thought on possibly, I don't know, making it one story less, so you don't have that T3 where you walk up the ladder.
Right.
It just cuts
Yeah.
off right there at the roof of the like that attic wall. That's
Small
the roof
tower
right above
and
it.
small tower.
Well, small tower is not too bad. They even extended on it.
Dude, small
So-
tower is like that shit's a death box now. Like
Well, yeah,
you can't
it
play in there as a defender. Like where the windows are at, you can't play in there. 'Cause there's no way out.
Well, one thing that I like to do to try and hold small tower is put a mirror. I know we've been running quick matches, so no bans, but a mirror probably will get banned a lot on this map just because there's so many angles you can open up. We can put a mirror in kitchen, and we can open up the showers wall that's off to the left, and we can open up the small tower wall. So we have angles literally everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's
Mirror's
nothing
so
new
strong.
for a mirror ban on Oregon, right?
Yeah,
That's-
seriously.
that's business as usual
It's
there.
Mira,
I mean,
Echo,
That's true.
Thatcher, and someone else. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so we'll kind of just to transition into our next topic. Sin kind of wanted to just bring up the general excitement of, year 5 and potentially year 6 coming up. So take it away.
Yeah, so watching the invitational stream, obviously, and they revealed the roadmap for 5 and 6. I don't have it pulled up, but I kind of think I have it memorized. Obviously, Jana and Oryx are the 2 operators being released in Season 1. Season 2, we're getting 2 more operators, but after that, it's 1 operator from there on out. And the focus here is core gameplay, so bugs and sound, anything technical in the game. The heart and soul of the game is actually going to get looked at a lot more and potentially fixed, which us Siege players know and love that there's plenty of things that are wrong with the game, but we still love it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I don't know if anyone else watching saw the Season 3 operator, but Sam, you pointed it out.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to tell the viewers.
It's either potentially I'm here, so it looks like the Division logo. Some people are saying it's the Nighthaven logo, which is where Callie and Wamai are from. But I think it really looks a lot like that Division logo. It's really hard to tell with that small graphic, but man, if they had a Division operator that they could integrate into the game, that would be such a cool crossover with other Ubisoft properties.
Yeah, either way, they slapped that classified name over the operator for a country and whatever. So it's gonna be awesome regardless of what they do. But I think crossover with the Division, I think it would be cool if they mirrored one of their key campaign players or something like that, kind of doing like that. But other than that, I mean, year 6 was the same thing as far as it's 1 operator per season, which is awesome. They actually gave us another year in advance of what they plan to do, because I don't think we've ever gotten that before. We've
Not
only
to my
gotten
knowledge, yeah.
we've only gotten the current year coming up in that roadmap. But no, they're already ahead of the game and telling us what to do. And for all those players that like those discovery playlists and arcade modes, they're going to be putting a lot more of those in. The first one they mentioned was a golden gun challenge, which is similar to a one in the chamber if you played Black Ops in the day.
Who called that?
Sam was all over this freaking stream, bro. I tell you. Other than that, dude, it's just exciting because it shows that they're committed, and the way that they put it up in front of the viewership, to the 90K, 100K viewers that were watching the Year 5 reveal panel, it was awesome, and it just got me more excited to play this game for years to come.
Definitely.
How do you feel about the new eSports changes that they're bringing in?
Ooh, another one. Yes, almost forgot about that. I feel like it's gonna benefit the teams a lot more, and it's gonna bring more teams in. I think that's the vibe that UB is trying to go with here. Is that they even mentioned themselves they want to be an economy that is fruitful for teams. So even they mentioned for the next pilot program, we just got done with phase 3 of the most recent one. But after that, they're going to have 44 teams potentially in the pilot program and stuff like that, which means more skins, which means more money for UV, which means more, the economy is just going to keep on growing. and that's awesome. I'm a finance major at college, so like that kind of just speaks to me right there. Is that
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of bringing it all together there. And then
Are
I
any of you
believe that-
familiar with how Counter-Strike does esports?
Vaguely.
Because what I've seen, what I've really noticed is it does seem like they're going to more of a Counter-Strike model, because Counter-Strike does 3 majors throughout the year and kind of does this point system as far as I understand it. So I think that they're trying to match that so that organizations that are coming in don't have a complicated system that they have to, kind of warm up to. It's something that they might already be familiar with other teams.
That's one thing that was confusing to me.
I'm like, how are they gonna get? Because I mean, they already play a lot of matches. So how is that gonna work with more teams?
It's 9 months
Are they gonna
on,
have like
2 months off.
divisions?
They have 2 months off.
No, but I mean
So-
like the frequency at which that they play games.
Because like how
'Cause
they
play
changed
like
it,
twice a week.
they changed it this season. Yeah, they changed it this season to twice a week. I know,
Right.
and I know before that it was like once a week. So they upped it this time. I don't know if that's
And-
gonna remain the same.
And then APAC plays.
It-
They play 2 matches in the same day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
APAC's
same
weird,
team.
yeah.
They play the same team twice in one
It
day.
will probably actually be still the same model of two matches per week, but I think it'll probably be, because it's going to be 16 teams in NA or something like that. Like they're taking it up a lot, and I think they'll probably 10
Only 10.
teams in
It's
NA.
10, 10, 10, and then APAC is 12.
Okay, so I bet that they'll
think.
only end up playing once a week, but they're gonna do like 3 or 6 of the teams and do half. That's my guess. I don't know for sure, but I kind of think
at least.
also with this happening, they're probably gonna have to bring on more casters. Anybody else kind of? Yeah, I mean they'll have
I can
to
see
with
that.
all the teams.
Yeah.
Stokes to table. Stokes to desk.
Zeronic,
Stokes
sign
to
Belly.
desk. Yeah,
Belly,
yeah,
I
Zeronic
love
and Belly would
Belly.
be great.
Dude,
Belly is
I would love
awesome.
to see Veronic cast the game. Oh my god.
What are you peeking at? You just
Yeah.
he
would
gets
just
so
bring out,
angry the
like-
whole time.
Oh yeah.
He would have to hold back on a lot of shit that he says.
That's just his
I love
personality
Zeronic.
though. It's awesome.
I love that they're gonna have a major in North America
Every year. Yep.
That is gonna be awesome. Because after I went to
Yeah.
Raleigh, I got like the bug where I was just like, I need to go to more of these. This
Dude,
shit
I'm
is
so
awesome.
sad I didn't go, man. I wanted to go so bad.
Don, did you see that one that they're hosting at IU? One of my friends put it up in chat. They do this big LAN event at IU every year, and Ubisoft is actually sponsoring the Siege side of it. So,
Is
I
it
think we're gonna
amateur
go.
or is it?
It's amateur. Yeah, it's not
Send
like
the
a
Iron
professional
Mountain Rank
game or
Day
anything.
team. Let's go.
send the media crew. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Any
no,
other-
that's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm
so
just
excited.
so much. There's so much that we could keep going on for probably another 30, 45 minutes just alone on the, the year 5 and year 6 and what they revealed. But
100%.
I think the
main-
biggest takeaway from it though is they're dedicating to the longevity of the game. Like that's
Yes,
my big
absolutely.
takeaway from all of this is that they're really all in on this game, which is it's awesome.
Yeah.
which is the main main priority that us gamers and want to see is that they're putting all that time into the game. And
Mhm.
I can't wait to see the day that they have 100 operators, and if they want to do more, I want to see 100 plus. That'd be awesome. That's just gonna be such a variety. It's gonna be awesome.
They gotta
Yeah.
start with old chunky boy though.
Oh,
We're
yes,
good.
yes. Hold
We're
on.
good.
Let's just cover that really quickly. The Tachanka rework. His LMG is actually becoming a weapon. He's having Capital Firebolt grenade launcher thing as a secondary weapon. It's just gonna be insane.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna be a Tachanka main.
Hey, I already
Tachanka's
called
gonna
it.
be- Yeah,
We're
Sin
gonna
called
take,
the
we're gonna
Tachanka
take
main.
turns and rotate off of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, all right, I guess I'll play smoke. Damn.
And then you had your Legion nerfs that were huge.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
That
those are
I
good.
feel like everyone loved. Twitch nerfs, but also kind of like a.
It's
she
like
got
a
nerfed her support off.
neutral.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of neutral. Her F2 got a big nerf on the recoil though.
Yeah. It takes a lot
still
more to
not that
control.
bad,
It's
though.
still not
It's-
bad.
It's horrendous, Chief. I don't like it.
I haven't tried it
What?
yet. Is it really
I
that
don't
bad?
really play
You put
Twitch,
ACOG
but
on it, yeah.
Well, that's why I ran it with an ACOG, but I'm also like I run smoke a lot, so I use the SMG11, and I've like practiced a lot with like a lot of recoil on a gun, so it wasn't that bad for me.
Well-
But like I said, I don't use it that often, so I don't know what it was even like before.
You got to
But everybody-
understand, Killam has a 5-foot-long mouse pad that he is like practiced his like.
No, this is my mouse pad. That's how big my mouse pad is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
That-
really?
Yikes.
That's
Yikes.
tiny.
I'll have to. I'll
No,
have to
I
find
have.
this,
I do have a really.
I have a
wide
big
mouse
one
pad.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a big one.
Flat one, baby. But
Oh,
yeah.
mine's bigger than
Mine's
that.
like my whole desk.
Yeah, mine too.
Then you had just one more quick thing about the operators.
Yeah.
It's just real quick. Maverick,
You're good.
Ying, and Nook all getting nades, and Doki got hers taken. That's all I have.
It's so strange that they gave so many operators nades. I think it's.
There's no way that
I think it's a
Ying
counter
did.
to Jaeger, knowing that you could have Wamai and Jaeger on the board. I think that's why. But
Well, my pick rate.
You think it's
Oh.
crazy high?
I think they're gonna bring Jaeger back in a little bit, and people. I don't know. I feel like you're gonna pick both now, just because of all these names.
yeah,
Wow.
I agree. Just to
I
kind of
think- I think
transition.
Ying's not gonna keep him. There's no way.
It feels
No.
good.
No fucking way,
It
dude.
feels good.
It feels good on Ying, but anyway.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. So Aaron asked in chat here, who do you think the next op rework will be?
Well, minus Tachanka, I'm assuming.
Right, minus Tachanka.
Minus, yeah. Who's gonna start this?
They need to rework Clash. She's breaking the damn
She's
game.
already out of the
Yeah.
game again.
I know, like
Yeah.
it's like every other week they have to disable her from
I'm-
some sort of
I'm the
game
only
breaking
one
bug.
that likes Clash too. Me and
I
Mickey.
mean,
I like screwing around with her every once in a while.
yeah, but she's one of those operators that's extremely frustrating to play. Like they talk
Like
about
any
operators
shield
that are
operator.
frustrating.
Like
Um,
me today in Aaron Oregon playlist.
Alright, with Monty. Yeah.
Monty, bro.
That was great. No, I think Clash is a good one. Jackal probably is another one where it's like that's a really frustrating operator. He gets banned so much though. Like people don't like him. I like Jackal personally. Like I like playing him. I think his guns are
I
great.
think the only way he doesn't get banned is they take off the ping system with him. Like,
No,
he
but
literally
that's
just
the whole-
tracks feet.
That's the whole point.
of his operator, though.
I know. Well, I'm
And-
saying
and-
he's
and they-
he's
and they
supposed to
were-
track people. He can see the feet print. Like, let him track people.
Instead of actually, okay, so instead of scanning, you just follow the prints.
Yeah.
But I mean, they already reworked him. I forget how long ago it was to where the
It's been
duration of
about
the
3 months
footsteps.
or so.
Yeah, they already worked him once. I feel like they got to nerf his weapons. That's probably the big
That
thing.
was a soft rework though. It
That
really
could-
wasn't
yeah.
like it wasn't a like all reworks so far for operators have been like a reimagining of how the operator plays. You think of Glaz with the thermal and we have
Shit,
Tachanka coming
now.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tachanka's huge.
Well, I mean, even if they nerf his guns, that's not gonna make people want to play against him anymore. Because the whole reason he gets banned is because he's not fun to play against, not because his gun's good. Like, there's
Right.
plenty of operators whose
I
gun is
agree.
good. Like, he's annoying to play against, so people
From-
ban him.
From a comp standpoint, from how I see it, I feel like he's ever since that small little tweak, he has not been as annoying. Because I remember the first time when the test servers dropped and they put that rework on them, I went on the test servers, I got tracked. I'm like, oh shit, I'm getting tracked. It was one ping. That was it. So like I don't know. It's kind of like give and take here because some people are like, oh, I don't want to deal with it at all. And it's like, oh, it's
But
okay.
They're
I don't-
also balancing it based on like the whole majority of everybody playing too. Like, it's not
Right.
just comp people playing or pro.
I know.
League.
I'm just I understand that. I was
Because
just
pro
saying-
league,
No,
like
and-
not that many
My
people
point of view.
play him in pro league just because they use
And they d-
other operators that have.
Yeah, and they
better
don't ban
utility.
them. Yeah,
Right, because nobody plays him. But
because
you
the
have a
utility's
select
not
few
there.
that take a Jackal on certain maps.
yeah, there's few people that'll run him, but
because that
he's just
C70
not-
is a monster.
oh yeah, it's a hell of a gun.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, it's so good. Just to kind of transition to some more questions, we do have a couple here in the Discord. Sheep King posted, with Ubisoft announcing that they are going to be they're going to be working on improving core gameplay. What are some things you would like to see get changed and what you don't want to see changed?
So I know I'm not the first person to ever suggest this. I think I first heard it maybe from Antero, but reducing the time it takes to reinforce walls,
Oh yeah.
I think would be nice. Kind of like it doesn't have to be all the way to the outbreak speed where it was like and like it's up, but some sort of in between those two, I think would be nice.
It's currently 6 seconds to my knowledge, and I think if you dumb it down to 4 or maybe even 5,
How about
I think
turn
maybe-
the volume down on it? Can't fucking hear anything when I'm
That's a
doing
good
that shit
point.
either.
I think something to really kind of look at is maybe changing it per operator, because there are some operators that, to put up the reinforcements and all their gadgets down takes the entire prep phase and you may not be able to get it done. Capcan, mute.
Jaeger.
Yeah, there's
Castle.
Jaeger's a good one. Yeah, their prep
Maestro.
phase is full, and you cannot stop to shoot drones. You can't stop to open hatches or use your shotgun or anything. Like, you're still working on it 10 seconds into the match. And not that I want it to be with 10 seconds left, everybody's in their position and they're just waiting for the attack phase to start. I'm not saying that. Like, basically yelling out from the building, "I'm ready!" I don't want it to be that. Yeah, exactly. But I do want it to be
reach
more.
us now.
Yeah.
But I do want it to be
Our
more of a
walls are
system where we can actually get the things done within the parameters of the prep phase, where we don't have to be like, okay, 20 seconds in, even a good comp team is still working on that prep phase and can be picked off. I don't necessarily think, how frustrating is it to get picked off as a mute trying to set up everything in that prep phase, and you get to that last one and there's somebody already on the window. I think maybe that might be something to look at, is kind of reworking the prep phase.
The Jaeger ADS animation is a little bit different in the TS for Year 5 Season 1. I've noticed that.
Mutes
don't
is a
know
little
if-
different too. It feels
I don't know.
sharper, weirdly enough.
Yeah, it feels sharper on Jaeger too. I don't know if there's a time differential. I haven't really obviously tested it, but there's a small difference there that I notice.
I know that a rework like what y'all are talking about, helping either lengthen the prep phase or at least make it quicker for defense to set up. I think that'll be good, because basically what's happening is they're moving away from these smaller maps because of just the nature of the meta of the game now. So now it's before, when you have border, you can have everybody from the start run across and set up all across the fucking map, do reinforcements and set up how they want to, because it's small. And then now you've got maps like Canal, New Oregon, there's a lot of setups that you could potentially do, but it makes it a lot harder to do when it comes to actually using your utility spread out across the map, because you really start getting bottlenecked into this certain bubble that you can actually set up into. So I mean, something like that would kind of help broaden that bubble and help them be able to make bigger maps, or whatever their goal is.
And I think the solution would be if you could reduce the reinforcement speed. Because I think if you extend the prep phase, the attackers are going to be sitting there with their thumb up their ass. Because I know for me, most of the time, I don't even enter my drone in the building anymore. I just leave it outside.
Nope.
Yeah.
And it's really
So,
boring.
Yeah, I just sit there. I'm going to go on Twitter for 45 seconds and then, okay, cool.
Can I hold spacebar to skip?
Yeah.
Didn't they,
Right?
the developers were talking about something, how they wanted the drone phase for attackers to have more, because they hit on that. They talked about it not about
Well,
it
because
being
they're
kinda
doing
boring
that ping
and people tapping out.
2.0. Yeah. And
Oh,
that's
right,
why,
right. Yeah,
and that's why now you're going to have some incentive to
Okay.
actually,
Drone and ping shit
to burn
now.
a drone so you can ping out all the,
Okay. I
Which-
wonder how long those pings are going to last, because they did say that they're not.
There's a
They
duration.
don't last the whole
yeah.
time. There's a duration on them. I wonder how long they're going to last.
They've got to last past the prep phase and then give it attackers time to get to the
Probably
site.
like a minute.
Somewhat.
I would say like that would be.
Yeah,
fair,
that's what
Give
I'm
you time
guessing
to like get up
too,
to the
something
building
along
and
those
kind of.
But
lines.
then
figure out what you wanna do.
that's another UI thing in front of your face. If you're already in the building, you're quick like on a Mario or something, jump in the building. You got all these red circles with gadgets and stuff.
Yeah,
It's,
that's
like,
true.
distracting.
That's true.
Mm.
So any other reworks, things you guys don't want to be changed about Siege? Anything you can think of? I think there was a discussion a long time ago about going to a 2-shot headshot or like a multiple headshot system. I don't want that to change. I don't think that works well with
That's not-
Siege.
It's almost
I
realistic.
think I probably said something different 12 months ago, but that was before I started playing like with what would become Iron Mountain at the time. And I don't think it's a good idea for Siege. I think it kind of depends, sometimes you just get those lucky headshots and sometimes you get a lucky headshot made on you. Like that's just the way it works, and it would be too much of a working with the system and kind of break what Siege is, I think.
Well, I mean, we already have instances where, you're like, man, that looked like a headshot, or like I thought that was a headshot, and because of ping or whatever in the game, like hitboxes and shit, like you already kind of get frustrated with that kind of one shot headshot mechanic already, and then having it be 2 headshots is like, how many damn times I gotta shoot this man in the head? Like that's what
Yeah.
everybody's gonna be doing.
I could live with you couldn't get a headshot through a soft wall. Like I could live with that.
That's what the discussion mostly was. That I could
Wall bangs,
kind of
yeah.
see.
Yeah, I could live with that, but
That's what makes nutty clips. What do you mean?
Yeah, man.
It's
well, and I've
true.
gotten some of those too before that have been pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
so
but
have
yeah.
I. So
And
have
I
then people
definitely
call you-
have clipped them and posted them on Twitter. Like I'm
And
badass.
people call you
like,
a-
I've
Yeah,
definitely
hacks.
done that before.
Yeah, people call you hackers.
Yeah, you know
How many
you're doing
times have
something
you
right.
have you just like responded to somebody with gunfire and accidentally got a headshot? Like somebody tries to shoot through a wall at you, and you respond back, and you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay."
Mhm.
Oh, you got that today. I saw it on House.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did get one of those. I saw that. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else I would want to actually see change. Like I honestly, I think the game's in a pretty good spot. I mean, really,
Yeah,
I'm also not
I
very
think we're-
creative, but
It's
like,
a good thing that we have to think this long for changes. It's a good thing.
Get rid of all spawn peaks, please.
I think
I'm
Jeremy's
sorry.
working on it.
I am sorry, dude, but like half the
It's
time
not
people
fun.
spawn peek and like it's not fun. It's not how the game is meant to be played. If you go back to the trailer from the very beginning at beta or alpha or whatever, it's breach and clear. It's and you're holding down the hostage in the video or whatever. It's not about spawn peeking. This isn't
Yeah,
Call
like-
of Duty. Go play Call of Duty.
In the SI, like the cinematic that they showed, like I didn't see Doc poking his fucking head out the window,
Exactly.
shooting at everybody. Like that's not what I saw. Like they're like standing outside, like breach and clear.
Exactly.
It's just not fun. Like it's not even fun
tactical.
when you do it. Like
No, it's not.
like when I've spawn peek people, it's just like I do it because it's an obvious advantage. If you're trying to win the round or whatever, but it doesn't feel good. It's like, well, I
No,
got it.
and
When anything
and
you
it's
do.
something like what was I gonna say, kind of along those lines, where it's as an attacker, how incredibly frustrating is it to have to look at every single window that covers your spawn, right? Like it's so annoying to have to do that and also get your drone ready and then get ready to breach whatever you're gonna do, clear wherever, and you get picked. Like that is the most annoying thing. And then your teammates aren't happy with you. You're not happy because you have to sit there for the next 3 minutes.
But on the flip side, how good does it feel when some little dweeb is trying to spawn peek you and you're like, boop, gotcha.
That's true.
Like that, how good does that feel though? It's like, yep.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
trade-off
fair.
I'm
What-
willing to make.
I
What
agree.
if they had a mechanic where, like, prep phase ends or whatever, and everybody spawns in? What if they had a mechanic where, just like it has during prep phase, where the window's like red and you can't like throw anything out? or whatever?
Like how Oryx is in the hatch on.
Yeah, what if
logistics, or like going
What
to
if
the-
they kept that on there until like a certain like barrier up to the building, and once the attackers cross that, then it goes down or whatever?
Or even keep that barrier
That'd
up
be
for a little bit
interesting.
longer. Keep it up for
Like
another like 10,
15.
15 seconds. Yeah. Something
Well,
like that so that people can get
It
to the
used to
building,
be
get
when
in
the
and do
game
it.
first came out, right? If you, as a defender, left the building, your whole screen was fucking red the whole time you were outside.
Yeah, but you also got 7 seconds before you were marked. 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you know how much people can do with
Run around
2
out there.
right now?
Hey, and now it's 2 seconds and your screen is clear as day, and you can just shoot anyone.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So someone in chat has a suggestion for every couple rounds you get a roof spawn.
Ooh.
Mm.
Like,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay,
in
go
ranked,
to
at least.
go to Oregon and spawn on the roof. Yeah, big tower is gonna fuck you up real good.
May not work on every map, right? But
Well, that's why I liked on the SI playlist map, like the stadium map. You could like choose to spawn up under the map or like up on the rafters or whatever.
Oh, so
Then
you
that
like
way,
spawning on
like-
the rafters where they could run out the door and spawn peek you?
Yeah, but even still, like you can wait to rappel down them, and then if they run out, you're gonna see them because you're just looking down at them. And then, like I said before, like you could spawn up under the map, and then you don't have to worry
Right.
about any runouts. So if
No,
like
I was just
I feel like
joking.
all maps should have at least one option, and most of them do. They have like options where you spawn in, and it's a good while before you get to a point where they can shoot you. But I thought that was interesting that they added something like that in where you could like spawn under the map or like above it.
On
Not
Oregon,
what Don
there's a
was saying.
lot safer spawns. There's so much trash at
Dude,
Junkyard.
Junkyard's so
So
safe now.
much trash.
Junkyard feels like what's that spawn on Villa?
Fountain or ruins?
Ruins, yeah, that's what it feels like
Ruins.
now. You just spawn in, there's just like walls all in front.
Okay, so Jack wanted us to talk about the new apps, the new ops, the new maps, which we did. Nades added to multiple ops, which we also did. And I think we talked about Spotting 2.0. The only thing on here, I'm going to save that middle one for the end. But the only thing on here that we didn't talk about was map bans. How do you guys feel about the new map ban system?
Oh,
no,
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I'm down with it.
I can't wait to just ban Outback and ban Chalet and ban literally every
Mhm.
map that's not Pro League.
I'm
Mhm.
never gonna play Chalet.
Never
Right.
again until they rework it, and then I'm
If,
making
if I'm
better.
if I'm with a stack and they let Chalet get through the map ban phase, I'm just gonna back out of the game. I'm not
Take
playing
your
the
the
15-minute
abandoned penalty.
Take my 15-minute penalty and leave.
Chalet almost chaps my ass as bad as Apex Legends. It's almost that bad.
Hey,
It's almost that bad. It's so
Hey.
I got a win today, actually.
I got
Dude,
2 wins today.
wow.
Hell
There
yeah.
you go.
Whoop-de-doo.
Don, we still gotta get that win.
Don hates Apex
I
so
hate that game
much.
so much. Oh my god.
We
But no,
just,
map bans is awesome. It's a good
yeah.
Yep.
good decision.
Well, I heard a lot of people complain about the concept, because they're like, oh, well, now there's gonna be maps in the map pool that you're never gonna play. But it's like, well, that should be a hint. That'll be another metric.
Yeah.
For Ubisoft, a
Absolutely.
definitive metric by the community that says, hey, we don't like this map. You need to fix it if you want us to play on it.
So how long do you think it's gonna take in that map ban phase? Because like someone
See,
in chat, Long
um,
Strange Trip brought up a really good point that like it could add an extra 30, 45 seconds to an already added. Now we have operator bans.
Yeah.
Like a ranked game could take you almost 45 minutes now.
Well, they said it's between 3 maps, right?
Well, there is a no ban option.
Right. It's between 3 maps.
I'd
3
say if
maps
it's any
with a no
longer,
ban, so
if it's
4
any
options.
longer than 15, 20 seconds, that's too much.
I feel like
Because
it's gonna
you're
be like
right.
a ban timer, like a normal for operators. I feel like
Yeah. And I think I honestly think they should shorten the ban timer. I think that takes way too long. Because how often do like 3 people, which is majority, pick an operator, and you have to wait another like 5 seconds in the ban phase waiting, and then it pops up with this graphic that takes 7 seconds to finish, and then the next person goes, and they're waiting 5 minutes or 5 seconds. So I think we can kind of shorten up and kind of condense the ban timers. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, before I even get into a game, I'm like 2 minutes on Twitter between operator bans, and then if I'm on attack, the prep phase, I'm on Twitter the whole time, or Facebook
Right.
or something, just because it's like, what am I
I'm
gonna
just
do?
browsing. Yeah, I totally agree.
They should have like an aim trainer mini game.
Oh, that's one feature that needs to be added 100%.
Yeah,
Bro,
they
Like a
fired
T
him.
hunt while you queue or
Instead-
something.
and- no, well,
Yeah.
not even. I wouldn't
Like
even
FIFA?
say. It's like FIFA,
Like,
yeah, where you kick
like
the
you
goals.
can like
Yeah,
kick the goals.
I think that's not something to put in to obviously keep you busy while you're waiting for the bans and such, or the game to start and stuff like that. But going back to the whole, it says training grounds now. I think we
Mhm.
all got excited when it said training grounds because we thought it was going to be like, oh, you can pick an operator and here's a shooting range, go crazy, and you
Yeah.
can switch operators
hope
maybe
so.
in the middle of it. I really want something like that.
They need to just
Yeah.
do like Apex, like how the
Yes.
Apex training one is, where you can literally
Exactly.
pick up any gun, you can
Mhm.
pick up any attachment. You got like moving targets, you got body targets where you can shoot. I think they really did that implementation very well.
I will give
And you
them that.
can-
That is an awesome
Yeah.
feature. I do love that. That is really
I
good.
like that you can get up on rafters and stuff too and practice training or shooting from like
Different
like
elevations.
different elevations and practicing it on the zip lines and stuff. That's really cool.
Mhm.
Okay, just to kind of transition into our last topic here. We here at Iron Mountain, which all of us are a part of, this is actually the entire Iron Mountain stream team. We had a 10-man or a 5 versus 5 match last week, and I just kind of wanted to talk about that because it kind of has to do with some announcements that we have to make here. But that was my first time casting. Me and Aaron both did that, and I just wanted to talk about that experience, get it from the player's perspective, get it from the caster's perspective. From my perspective, I had so much fun. I just kind of fell into doing it. I didn't even intend on talking about every round, but I just started doing it. And it was so much fun and it came so naturally. And it was even better when Aaron joined, because we were kind of just bouncing off each other. I didn't have to talk the whole time. I drank 2 quarts of water during the 2 matches. 2 quarts of water.
You know they don't give casters bathroom breaks, man.
No, you don't feel it when you're actually casting. When you're talking that much, you don't feel it.
Right.
Did you guys notice during the Invitational, they shot a shot behind Kixon and Taro for the finals, and they had so many water bottles. They had like 8 each or something like that. But yeah, it was a ton of fun, and it just was like so cool to have the spectator. They complain about the features that the spectator has, but even just having it and being able to watch the match from a top down and switch between players is so cool. And I really had a great time. What did you guys think about
Going to be cool.
the new replay system's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that. So what did you guys think about the 10-man from the player's perspective? I know Sin and Don both participated.
Don, you can go ahead and start.
I mean, I know for me, so that was my first time ever really playing a match like that, where we had like map bans, and then doing like the full pro league set, like rules and everything. It was really fun. It was a lot of fun. No score marker on your screen definitely takes some getting used to. I remember on Villa, there was a moment when like I was playing in games and Buck was coming up, and I was like, "Did I down him? I don't really know." And then I threw like a smoke grenade, and I was like, "Okay, I did down him." So like that was kind of a cool thing.
I've been playing without score for the last year. I turned it off on my interface interface like a year
All right,
ago.
Summer Reader, you try hard, okay? No, but like I thought that was cool. And then in hindsight, rewatching, and if anyone's curious, it is on the Iron YouTube page.
Yep.
It was cool watching, and this sounds really stupid, but hearing someone cast and be like, "Oh, and Don Tony with the kill," I was like, "Oh yeah," like it just felt really cool. I can't say it's the first time I played with like trying to do strats and comps and stuff, which is cool, but it definitely hits different when you're on like the 6 and 6 and then switch side. I mean, it hits differently than just doing like a ranked squad trying to like do strategies and things. It was cool.
So
we won both games, so that's awesome.
Yeah, we did. GG. Yeah, Don and I were on the same team, and that obviously I kind of explained earlier. That's not my first time doing something like that. I have been a part of comp teams in the past. Started on Xbox, came over to PC. Not this most recent December, but the December before that. And so I've been kind of into the comp scene for a little bit. And so like it was normal to me. It's been a while though since I've done a 10-man, so I did have a little bit of the jitters and stuff like that. But it was more so a time to get the ranked A and ranked B guys together to actually form that bond, that teamwork and stuff like that. Other than that, I mean, it wasn't It was another day in the office trying to do what I do best, baby. Hey, and we came out on top.
We did, yeah. And I actually did pretty well on Villa. I think I was like 8-1-7 or something.
Yeah,
I
you
actually did well.
Justin.
dude, solid.
Justin
went off the second
popped.
map, bro.
Oh, he really
Oh.
did. Yeah.
I mean, I think I
Yeah.
dropped double digits both maps, but Justin, like, he dropped 10 on club, and then we went to Villa, and he dropped, I think it was 17 or 19. I can't remember.
It was 17, I
Damn.
think. 17 or
He went
something like
off,
that.
bro. Once we got into the attack, it was over.
And then I think
Yep.
Fiber was like 1-8-8 or something like that.
Hey, but
Poor
you know
guy.
what? He was doing his job. He was doing his job, and it was his first comp try. So like that's huge.
To be fair, yeah, it was his first time ever actually having a role and not just like I'm gonna go in and do my thing.
Yeah.
He actually had a great time too. Like I think for him, it gave him perspective because so like Textual Fiber, he's a lifelong friend of mine who plays Siege. He used to play with me on Xbox. He got a PC. Like he doesn't watch Pro League, any of that sort of stuff. I don't think he realized the depth of that level of trying to like actually have strategies and team composition. Because I remember during the match, he texted me, he's like, "Dude, you weren't joking. This shit gets sweaty as fuck." And I was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "This is no joke. This is another level." And I was like, "That's what I was trying to tell you. Is that when you try to play the game in that, it's a different game."
Yeah,
It's not ranked anymore.
Yeah, it's a different game.
It's yeah, and I mean, yeah, for sure. And that's kind of why I wanted to transition to the kind of announcements that we have. As some of you know, and everybody who's in chat right now knows, we all are part of Iron Mountain, which is the community organization that we're trying to build. And we've kind of made a change in the Discord server to make it easier for people to join. We're trying to get a community going, you know, bring in people who want to be a part of Rainbow Six and kind of have a healthy area to learn the game, to have people to play with and that sort of thing. Me and Jack have been working tons and tons on it lately. We've put a lot of time into it. And, you know, we're just trying to make healthy because when you get to the top level where Sin plays, you know, you find a lot of people that even if they're willing to give you a shot, if you don't pop off that first match, they're going to kick you out and just move on with their friends. Like, it's a very toxic place. You got a lot of people who are not going to treat you very nice. And here at Iron Mountain, we just want to make, you know, a place for our Rainbow Six players to kind of have a community to learn from, because you really don't learn a lot from that sort of situation. So these 10-mans are going to become a more regular thing. We're looking at doing one next week. If anybody's interested, just go ahead and let me know, let anybody here know. But we're looking at having one next week and kind of include the community, get some practice and things like that for our ranked squads. So that's kind of where we're shooting with that. And talking about Iron Mountain, you know, we're me and Jack kind of said it like, you know, the phase 1 was all of us getting together and deciding to start something called Iron Mountain. Phase 2 was kind of making the Discord server, and now we're kind of in phase 3 where we're looking to bring people in and start to create an actual community. So
and if anyone wants, I was just gonna say, if anyone wants an invite and wants to like get involved, you can find Iron Mountain on Twitter at IronMountainGG.
Thank you.
That'd be the easiest
definitely.
way to get in. Yeah.
And you'll see Don tagged in a bunch of tweets, myself tagged in the most recent tweets, Killam tagged, Sam Moppski, he's tagged, Jack Lakota, he's tagged. You can, you know, follow, message, DM any of us.
Yep, absolutely. And I know Sin had something he wanted to say kind of on the matter of Iron Mountain.
Yeah, so what is going on right now is, you know, in the Siege community, we have what's known as Ranked A and Ranked B. So it doesn't matter, you know, whether you're silver, gold, platinum, or pushing for diamond. We're you know, welcoming open arms to anyone of any rank. And what we have a good amount of ranked B guys, which is more of the silver, gold, and low plat range, but the ranked A is what we're looking for. Myself, I reached plat 1 this season as my all-time high. Jack Lakota, I think he's reached plat 2. I could be wrong, but there's like 3 or 4 of us try to make that push for diamond. I have personally never been diamond on PC. That is one of my goals in my life is to be a diamond on PC and get that charm. Champion, I know I never hit. I'm just gonna be straight up. I'm never gonna hit champion, and it's cool with me. I just want to hit diamond one time, get the charm.
Just get the hacks, bro. That's
Yeah,
what everybody else does.
no. I ain't like that.
Well, that's like the majority of champion rank is just hackers.
Yeah, to be honest. But so the right day, guys, we're looking for like, if you're plat 3 and up, or even high gold, uh, you know, DM myself. I'm R6_cynical on Twitter. You'll see me tagged in the Iron Mountain posts. Or message anyone else here too if you're interested in playing. We do ranked, we do the 10 mans and stuff like that. So you're more than welcome to join. And it's just a warm community that is looking for players to reach goals that they want to achieve and set standards and set those stars, those boundaries farther than you can even imagine.
And you really do learn a lot. Like, so I know when I got involved with Iron Mountain, I don't even remember who it is that officially pulled me in. I think it was Moppski or it was Lakota. I don't even remember.
We both you came on our radar both kind of at the same time, roughly about the same time, I think.
But I remember Lakota taught me a whole lot, and I'm still learning a lot. I mean, they're really open. If you have any questions, they're great guys. And like they were saying, it really is all skill levels are welcome. I mean, I'm consistently in gold on Xbox. I hit plat once, so I'm like a 50 Cent one-time platinum artist over here. But yeah, I mean, it's
party in the club.
Welcome. Yeah.
So yeah, and just I had one more thing just about Iron Mountain. Oh, no, about this podcast. So this episode of the podcast is going to be the first one that we post over to Spotify and Apple and Google Play Podcasts, all that kind of stuff. So this will be the first one.
Mama made it.
As long as we get approved, it might take a little while to get approved, but I will upload this one to the service that we're using. So we'll go ahead and go from there. But if you guys have any questions or questions for the next podcast, questions about Iron Mountain, about us as streamers, what the stream team is, if you have any questions, message us personally, head into our Discord. If you, go in my chat, ! Discard, you'll be able to get it. It's also in the YouTube video description when that gets posted. Just come be a part of the community. Let us know what you're thinking. If you have questions, comments, concerns. But other than that, I think we're about ready to wrap up. Anybody else have anything else they want to say on the outro here?
I just want to thank you guys for inviting me on to this episode.
Yeah, it was great having you.
Because I've never been a part of this before, and it's actually really awesome because I listened to a bunch of podcasts from the Logic Bomb to what was the one that get flanked in
Hot Breach.
Hot Breach, yeah.
And then I listened to the Misfits. I listened to Courage and Nate Shot. So like I've listened to a bunch of gaming and the gaming podcasts and stuff like that. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
I got this opportunity.
Yeah, man.
And for anyone new, this is weekly, so it's always Saturday, and then it goes up on the Iron Mountain YouTube. A couple days.
I usually have it up on Tuesdays. Yep, Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Yep, I try to have it up then. So it will be up on the YouTube channel on Tuesdays. I will post it tomorrow to most of those other platforms once we get approved. So with the service that we're using, you have to get approved. So if you don't see those for the next couple weeks, that's why. Some of them they required you have a repertoire of episodes built up before you can actually post them. So it might be a couple weeks before those go, but we are starting to post them. So you'll see those coming here real soon. Other than that, we are going to sign off for the night. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you all later.